welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly love outlook for Gemini. Now this is going to be an outlook for Gemini and their person. So somebody, a Gemini who has somebody in their life that they're connected with or that they feel connected with. And of course that person has, shown a connection with you too, Gemini, right? Now, whatever comes out, though, you may be going through a challenge with them, or you may be about to enter into separation or reconciliation. Whatever the case may be here, we'll just see what the cards say, right? All right, guys, let's get right into it. I've already shuffled off camera, Gemini, so we can pull out your cards for your person and for you. We have for you, your person is resonating with Five of Swords, and you are resonating with the Ace of Cups. Okay. Your person sees you as lovers, and you see them as Nine of Swords, and they see the relationship as an Eight of Swords, and they're placed in it, and you see yourself as the Magician. At the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Pentacles. Wow. All right. So once again, this is the third reading I've done on the weeklies. I start on Aries and Taurus were in a situation definitely where they were about to move away from a current relationship because it no longer served them. And I wonder if this may be the case here. I'm not sure if you're ready to move on. But there's definitely some issue here, right? Nine of Pentacles is certainly somebody who's very ambitious and who loves their independence, first and foremost. The Nine of Pentacles is a very independent person, Gemini. And there is an energy of this weaving through here. This energy of wanting to be on your own, wanting to be sort of not on your own per se in a relationship, but wanting to pursue your own career or business path because you are so independent and you are very ambitious. You are right now manifesting your goals. Certain rewards are beginning to come in for you in any case, because Nine of Pentacles also indicates like a high level of financial abundance coming in. So now let's get into your spread. Your person is resonating with Seven of Swords and you're resonating with Ace of Cups. So this is interesting. This is the second time Ace of Cups has come out for the quadrant. So Aries had an Ace of Cups too, I believe. And it's interesting because it's like your person resonates with Seven of Swords, which is a card of futility. Nothing seems to be working right for them. And meanwhile, you're resonating with a new love. A new feeling of love coming into your life, right? A new fountain of love, a new love connection. Ace of Cups is certainly a new love. It's a love that's just begun. It's certainly a deep love, an outpouring of love, but it's definitely something that's new. And so here, it's interesting that your person would feel like they're resonating with the card of futility. It's like nothing they're doing, it seems to be working right now. And here you are sort of falling in love. Are you falling in love with somebody else, Gemini? Have you sort of set your eyes somewhere else? Seven of Swords is sometimes the card for treachery too. So your person could, it's generally somebody who resonates with the card of Seven of Swords. It's not so much that they're being purposefully treacherous, but it's just that nothing they do seems to work. All of their efforts seem to be kind of, they cut the corners. They never make a real effort, right? They never make a concerted effort. And so everything that they're trying just falls hollow. It just doesn't seem to work out for them. Now they resonate how they see you and how you see them. Here we are. They see you as their lover, right? They do see you as the one they want to be with, as their perfect companion. But you see them as a Nine of Swords. So you see them as someone who's just full of a lot of angst and anxiety, full of a lot of misery. It could be that this person is just, their mentality is just something that you're kind of like not into anymore, Gemini. They could be a real sort of whiner. They could be sort of like really complaining a lot. Nine of Swords generally is a feeling of misery that we put ourselves under, where we're always kind of like feeling guilty, feeling bad, feeling anxious, not able to sleep, always worried. And it can be a very It tends to be, it's another nine card. It's interesting. You have two nine cards, which are really cards that are tend to be solitary cards. They have an essence of hermit in them. So it's like you see them in this misery that they're in, but it's a misery of their own making. It's their misery, right? And again, they feel like they can't really do much about it. They're feeling very futile. It could very well be that whereas they're seeing you as their perfect mate, you're really not seeing that, and you're really starting to fall out of love with them. You may indeed have fallen in love with somebody new. And this is so weird because this is the third reading in a row where the cards have come out like this for three separate elementals, right? Because we're now on an air sign. How they see the relationship and how you see the relationship. And they see it as an Eight of Swords. Well, they're feeling really kind of victimized. You know, they can be, it seems to me like they're quite toxic. They may be the type of person that really doesn't take a lot of responsibility for themselves. You know, I mean, here they are. Everything they do seems to be half-hearted anyway and not work out. And it could be that just their energy is a very toxic energy. You know, Eight of Swords is a toxic person. This is somebody who generally is very sort of alienated from others because of their own attitudes. Their attitudes are very restrictive. They're very difficult to talk to. They can be the gaslighters. Sometimes they can create real havoc all around them and just blame everyone else. And it's a real difficult energy to be with. And it's interesting that they would resonate, see themselves and see the relationship like this. I think they actually see this. I think they resonate with this in the sense that they feel like, you know, none of this is their fault. They feel like they're doing everything they can, even though they're really not here, you know. And you're just kind of like, You're resonating with the Magician, and the Magician is all about talent, self-confidence, knowing what you want, knowing what you can do, right? It's a high degree of talent, certainly. And it's like funny that you would see this as the relationship too. It feels like you're the one very much in control here. And I think that you realize that, you know, that it's really down to you how this goes, right? You're feeling very much in charge. You're feeling very much like the one who is sort of able to make the decisions, right, for yourself. You're not feeling kind of pulled in by this. The Magician is, again, a very independent spirit, right? And someone who knows their value, who knows how to manifest their dreams. And it's like, I think you see yourself as this person in the relationship. You see yourself as the one who's really sort of creating everything, who's taking care of everything. And it can feel sometimes like you're really having to work magic because you're dealing with somebody who is so toxic as well. So it could really feel like to you like you're just having to do everything in a lot of ways. You know, you're always having to use all of your talent and all of your skill to make everything work and happen because this person is so unable to sort of take responsibility. They do see you as the lovers, which is interesting. I wouldn't be surprised that if you decide to move on with somebody else, if this person is going to be very, very difficult to leave. They may really play the victim. They may really try to pull on your heartstrings, you know, because you see them like that already. You know, you see them as a bit of a person who's really always miserable and sort of unhappy to begin with. And then with this toxic energy here, it's just like, I'm not sure if they're going to let you go so easily. But you're already resonating with a high degree of independence here. Like I said, you know, Nine of Pentacles is someone who's really all about their business, their coin, you know. So let's just see what the clarifiers say. Emperor energy, okay, for them. And King of Swords, you have the Empress, wow, and the Devil. Well, there you go. So this is something. So the Emperor and the King of Swords, so they're being very, very strict and severe, right? They're definitely someone who feels like they're in charge, right? They're the Emperor and they're the King of Swords. That's what they're, you know, that's how they see their connections in the relationship. So the Emperor is like the one who's in charge. He's the authoritative figure here, right? And the King of Swords is the one who really sort of makes the rules also, right? Whereas the Emperor, yes, he's the authority figure. He brings order to chaos. But the King of Swords is much more all about setting the rules, meting out any punishment. He can be very, very severe. Of course, he has keen eyesight and logic and mastery over the mental, because that's what the King of Swords is all about. He can be very fiery. All the kings are very fiery. But when we're talking about somebody who's also resonating with futility in the Eight of Swords, we're talking about somebody who may have gone to the other extreme of King of Swords and been too rigid, right? A little bit too rigid, a little bit too domineering, too much things having to be their way, right? And that could be all tying into some of this toxic energy here. And this feeling of futility. They see themselves as being very much in charge, yet they can't get anything done. They can't seem to control you the way they want to. A lot of times, Emperor and the King of Swords are both, they're both energies of control. And so when it's balanced, it's great. But here we're talking about they're unable to have control in their life. So they're desperately, in a lot of ways, seeking it. And it could be that they're seeking it through controlling you or through having you. Like by having you by their side, I think it makes them feel like the emperor that they want to be. But yet, this is a lot of how they see themselves. May not necessarily be that they are resonating with the positive side of these two energies. Because Emperor and King of Swords are very, very positive and strong energies when they're in balance. But if you're dealing with somebody who wants to be the king, wants to be the emperor, but is unable to maintain order, is unable to sort of be honest with themselves, then this is a real kind of like, I want to say you're dealing with somebody who pretends to be one way, but really they're resonating on a completely different level. You're seeing yourself as the Empress and Devil. And so here you are. Like, I think for you, yes, you're realizing that you really need to put a lot more energy into yourself. It's interesting that you would resonate with the Empress opposite the Emperor, because it's like, yeah, they're the Emperor, but they're not getting it done, with that futility. And so for you, you are resonating with Empress energy. You are certainly, Nine of Pentacles can be akin to Empress energy in the sense that Nine of Pentacles takes care of itself, takes care of its body, nurtures itself, does everything it needs to do to maintain this abundance and wealth coming in. And so the Empress is the same way, really nurturing herself, taking care of herself, putting herself first. And I think that for you, it's kind of seems to be like it's working out, right? You're feeling new love coming in. You see them for kind of the misery they're putting themselves under. And then you also have the Devil card here. And it's interesting because the Devil card tends to pull you away from your higher sort of goals, right? I mean, when the Devil is exalted, we create beautiful works of art and symphonies and great forms of creative expression. But when we are sort of dragged down into the muck or dragged down into areas of instant gratification or addiction or codependency, it's like, we don't get that satisfaction. And now we're like a slave to our passions. We only get that sort of fleeting satisfaction that we keep running back to. Now, why this energy will come up for this reading, it almost feels to me like this is how you're feeling with this person. This is the energy that they're bringing into your life, a feeling where you're wanting to sort of maybe turn to drink or turn to addiction or turn to things that are opposite of the Empress, right? That are not about you nurturing yourself, but that are really sort of taking a toll on you. And this could be one of the reasons why there is challenge right now in this relationship. I'm not saying that you're absolutely going to leave per se, but again, just like with Aries, you're resonating with the Ace of Cups here. So there's certainly a new love connection in your life, right? And I don't think it's this person, right? So it's interesting that you may be, the Devil could also be you feeling a little bit sort of guilty, or maybe feeling like you are not doing the right thing because you've fallen in love and you're with this person. So you're feeling maybe a little bit of an internal, struggle, because the Devil's all about internal struggle. Do I just go after what I want that makes me happy, or do I, Do I remain committed to my moral and spiritual center and try and rise above that? That's the internal struggle of the devil. And so some of you may be feeling that because you're falling in love somewhere else, or the devil could certainly be related to the way this relationship is making you feel in general, that it is generally constantly causing this internal struggle inside yourself because you simply aren't happy. Let me pull out Romance Angel message for you. Separation, yeah. And worth waiting for. So there you go. Again, yeah, I think you have a love coming in that's worth waiting for. And this is your new love coming in. You feel great about it. You have Empress energy. But right now you're in separation. I think you're about to enter into separation with this connection here. So yeah, that's what it feels like to me. It feels like, again, this is not a third reading in a row where you guys are working on moving away from a relationship that's no longer happy, that no longer suits you, and right around the corner, the one you've really should have been waiting, or the one that was worth really waiting for, the one that you really want. And for some of you, you've already met them because the Ace of Cups is already there. Is going to come right in for you. Is going to come right in for you. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. This is a lovely reading. Again, the third one in a row where the Querent is going to be finding a better love than the love they have right now and really moving on in confidence and happiness, right? Moving on with a new love already on the horizon. All right, my lovely Geminis, this is your reading from March 1st to the 8th. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I'll be bringing back the weekly love readings, so just look out for those every weekend. But for right now, guys, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week for your weekly love outlook. Bye-bye, Gemini.